It's Week 11 of the National Football League, and all eyes are on the dual threat Lamar Jackson, as he's moved past 3,000 yards passing for the year and looking for more. It's the Saints and the Texans, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Jackson. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
And here, Charles, is a look at the inactive, some of the guys that are out today due to injury.
Yeah, and this is where the preseason work comes into play for some of those backups. It's not just them getting some experience on the field, but preparing each week in practice as if they were going to play. And when you have guys like that on your team, you've got a chance for success when the injury bug hits.
12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson now. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
2nd down and 3. Inside handoff, Henry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Jackson. They shakes him up, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. Catch made, it's Moreau. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
1st and 10. It's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. There he goes, right side. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
So out come the Texans in great starting field position. And trotting out there, a guy who's established himself as a veteran in this league. Now in his 5th year at quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. And again, it's Chubb. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. They go up the middle with Chubb. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Chubb running right. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown! A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. His first catch, good for 9 in the first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Jackson's throw complete there to Thomas.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 41-yard line.
Play action. Now Jackson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Jackson will throw again. Going right side here, and that's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
And they are back to 500 now. The win last week, their 3rd in a row. And the question, is this run coming too late to make a difference in the playoff race?
Great question. They definitely still have some work to do, but I think a lot of folks were writing this team off about 3 weeks ago, even some of their own fans. So I suggest you put some extra shocks on the old bandwagon because this team has rebounded.
From the 39, Jackson working the middle here. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jackson. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Good idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline. Just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. So here are the Texans to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
First down, Texans.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Harris has it over the middle.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. The Texans at 6-3 on the year, and they come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They'll look to throw again. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Dayo Odengbo gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? We're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
The throw over the middle taken in.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup but it will still lead to a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
Cade York on now for the field goal.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
York able to send this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson. Over the... And he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And running with power here. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. They've got the ball in a great spot here, already inside the red zone following that fumble recovery.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense trying to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Chubb will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. 2nd and 4. Touchdown, Texans. From 4 yards out. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that makes our score 17-0.
Saints, nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run it again with Henry.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Strong running plays, and then they're closing to simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, You've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Here's Presley Harvin now.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And he's not going to get to the marker. And that's a turnover on downs.
4th and short in this part of the field. You just noticed special teams coordinators rallying the team saying, watch the fake, watch the fake. But Brandon, don't they usually say that on every punting situation?
Oh, yeah, they can be up 40 in the 4th quarter. That's their job. They scream that every time.
And this time, though, his team locked in, and they were well aware that it truly was a situation that they could fake it. And they were ready for it and stopped it.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On play action, they'll throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
A gain of 15. 1st down, Houston.
2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. He'll look to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 34 yards.
And the Texans continue to pull away here in this 1st half. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive. Extra point by York is up and good.
And the route is on here in this 1st half. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now the Saints coming back out, ready to go for this next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the 1st half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's going to sling this deep downfield.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 6. There's another catch by the running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And this one complete to Reed.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Texans.
Back to throw again. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Complete to Nick Chubb.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. But the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the 3rd quarter.
Back to throw now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
They'll set up to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Reed.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And Chubb will try the middle here. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. That's out to Chubb, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
Chubb again. And not a whole lot there, as they'll get him down at about the 2. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game, throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
From the 45 on second down, Jackson. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
He was brought down at the 45-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 12.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Escaping and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Kayvon Thibodeau make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Reed. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Chubb will get the call, running left. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
53 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. I think you'd have to say Nick Chubb, pound for pound, one of the most powerful runners in the NFL. He proved it there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
Now back to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Joe Tryon.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. 2nd and long. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that, because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, Go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
That's who is running back, Edwards-Helaire.
So the completion good for just 3. And that'll make it second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 47-yard line.
To throw is Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
A pickup of 2. Brings up 2nd and goal at the Texans.
2nd down and goal. Jackson steps away to his left. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. 4 yards on the touchdown grab.
And the Saints are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Houston set to take over.
And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They run again on first down, Chubb, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. And this offense on third down today, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
94 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
An opening for Chubb on first down as he dashes forward for about 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's
and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Nick Chubb, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson now. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he wisely will throw that one away. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again is Jackson. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. From the gun, it's Jackson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Texans will take over. And now out comes Houston. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable.
Oh, the ball is out. Edwards-Helaire lost it. And the Texans scoop it. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower post-game.
York now for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Saints again ready to go on offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Texans scoop it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He finds his man. Complete. It's McDonald. One last shot for Jackson.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Houston, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers.